Hey everybody. So a lot of messages again, and this is nothing new on a subject regarding time, calendars, portals, etc. So everyone's all caught up in when gates and portals are open based on certain dates, right? And so if we really think about it, and we know that time is an illusion, and that calendars have been man-made created. So then what are we talking about when we say certain energies, gates, portals, abilities can come to earth and come from earth up and out to the heavens and beyond and the multidimensional whatever? How does that all occur if it's an illusion and it's been man-made and created? Is it done so to keep the humans feeling comfortable? Does it get all of our energy and our attention during that time frame? And then what is our attention and energy really focused on? Are there nefarious things on the backside of where we're placing our energy? Do y'all see where I'm going with this? So when we talk about, let's go to the present time. So when we talk about these February 22nd portals, the 2-2, the double digit 2-2. If you follow anything regarding esoteric mysticism, then you understand that the elite only work on odd numbers, not even numbers. But then we get all caught up in the number thing, right? The double digit, what it stands for, etc. And so we say there's a portal, and some will say it's from the 22nd to the 28th, the 22nd to the 29th. But what is it really? Is it the 22nd here in the Northern Hemisphere? Is it the 22nd that happened 3 days ago in India? Is it the 22nd that happened yesterday in another country? So, I mean, where do we go with all of that? And then I stop and think about, is this a planetary alignment? And if so, who's really looking at what planet? Because a lot of these planets are unidentified, or they're presumed to be on a chart that's been printed out of where it is. Is it really where it is? And could I see them all with my telescope? I don't think so. And then if the moon isn't real, then how does the moon control the tides? So again, there's a lot of questions that you have to discern. And in discerning them, most people are going to use the mental monkey mind, the seeing mind that can be very deceived. And then we have the heart center where we have our feelings. And then our feelings have been taught to be overridden by our mental monkey mind that can also be deceived because it ricochet rabbits thoughts around in there because we have so much stored in our subconscious, but we're trying to make sense of it in a conscious mind. And that's a 5% versus a 95% storage unit. And yet we're still trying to figure that out. And then if we use our gut, which is a knowing, that also has feeling, right? And then we've also been taught to override all of that. So where do we find our God spark? Where do we find our intuition? Where do we find working in tandem with the mind, the heart, and the gut, the seeing, the feeling, and the knowing. And then how do we practice that and bring it into our everyday beta 10 and 2 survival, gotta do rhythms? How do we do that? So, of course, I'm always going to say stop, drop, sit, connect with the breath. And what do I mean by that? Stop and become aware. And as you're becoming aware, bring your body into a little more of a balance and a homeostasis, taking it out of the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight, and into the sympathetic nervous system, the calmer, by connecting with the breath. So you're overriding and shifting gears. And then you're connecting with the physical body and the energetics, the circuitry boards, seen and unseen. And then in that time frame of stop, drop, sit, connecting the breath, we become more aware. And then we're not making reactionary decisions. We're looking to maybe hum nicely, smoothly, with whether to respond. Because the response could be just sitting in the breath, maybe not having a thought or a feeling or a knowing, making decisions for us until we've tuned into all three of those brains that have extremely high IQs, but you've only ever learned about the mental IQ, and you've been graded on that and not graded on your feeling IQ or your inner knowingness IQ. And that, my friends, is where the God source is. It's where the God source is. So when we can take these programs and recognize them for what they are and place them where they need to be in the moment and investigate and navigate through these other IQ systems, we can then now decide, does this portal make sense? Does this time frame make sense? Am I always connected to the ever-flowing energies? Can I always command more activations within myself? More connection within myself? And in order to do that, we have to clear off our antenna from all the debris that has collected on it through all these different programming storms that have been placed upon us with and without choice. So I encourage each and every one of you to begin to question what's getting tossed out around you and what you might be feeding into in a placebo kind of way that's being told to you through all this social media teachings. And we already know that there's the bot system out there. There's a lot of bots. There's a lot of AI programming in physical form. There's a lot of AI programming in non-physical form that is out there and in there creating what you want to call is a trickery, but really it's a lesson to call your attention and to set your intention to how you choose to bob and weave, ebb and flow, how you choose to allow yourself to maneuver and explore and be the adventurer onto new lessons, new ways to find multiple places of destination. A train just doesn't leave a station and go to one destination. There's multiple trains, multiple destinations. Same with planes. But you'll learn the lessons that your soul came here to learn if you can tune in to the fact that perhaps the paths others have taken isn't the path that you're being called to. And you won't know that until you get on the path. You won't know that until you stop, drop, sit, connect with the breath, align the circuitry boards, get into co-creating through the imagination, which is the God space, and really 3Ding and seeing yourself maneuvering through the maze and stopping and enjoying throughout the maze before you find another exit or an entry point. That is another lesson that your soul is driving versus the mental monkey mind, the programming, the old programming that's been driving. So the awakening process is learning how to open all of your sensories to there's so much more than what's being taught to you or placed upon you to believe that that is the only truth. And the only truth is you have the ability to make choices and maneuver, fly, walk, swim, whatever, through anything. There's nothing here to harm you. There is nothing here to harm you but this freezing of yourself by believing that you can't, that you don't have choices, okay? So there's always a portal. You can open them when you get into those parts of your mind. And it's something I've learned to do. And it's something that I've been able to team up with for many, many decades with multitudes of teachers, mentors, and healers that I've worked with and been educated by and been getting multitudes of certifications. But it's my own experiences through those educations that makes me uniquely different than other people that you might work with. So I encourage you to go to embodimentofthesoul.com. Encourage you to email me at info@embodimentofthesoul.com and just make an appointment. Make a 1-hour appointment. And let's join together and let's see how we can get better access to pathways that suit your existence in the here and the now, that bring more value and can connect the seeing, the feeling, and the knowing, and get them all in alignment so that even in your most fight or flight situations, you can on an instant connect and tune in and decide, is the next step for you? Or do you need to stop, drop, sit, and turn in another direction? All right? All it's going to do is enforce and expand the quality of your column of light. And that's what we're here to awaken to do, is that our responsibility is the quality of our column of light. Okay? So much love. You're walking, living, breathing columns of loving light. Own it. Own it. Learn to dance within it. I can promise you, you will find so much happiness and joy in there just by connecting with that on a deeper level. All right? So I'll see you on the next video.